Well, Spygate. No, it wasn't Spygate. What was it? It was Signalgate has now been replaced with Babygate. Dun, dun, dun. And now that I'm done butchering my intro, how you doing? This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out. There is a piece of legislation that is causing a kerfuffle, which just goes to show that all of the hundreds of pieces of legislation that pass, you are being distracted by other things that cause a kerfuffle. I will tell you that this Paulina Luna firebrand of the GOP putting forth bipartisan legislation. That means one person from the other party jumped on board with it. Bipartisan legislation allowing during maternity leave for both men and women that congressmen and women can vote via proxy. They can vote from home. It sounds like a good idea. On paper, to me, it sounded like a good idea until they started saying with the men. I have a whole thing about paternity leave. We just do not have time today for that. So the paternity leave issue, I'll just shelve for now. But I have seen the legislation. It seems okay. Okay, I can get it. If someone's on maternity leave and they need to vote, they need to vote. It is what it is. I don't see a problem with it. Until I realized, Mike, you have been to congressional offices. You've been in Congress. You have seen the palatial digs of both the Senate and the House. And if anyone from the Senate and the House tell you they don't have palatial digs, they've been there too long. Because the first time I walked into Congressman Schweikert's office, I was like, damn, this is nice. This is nice. This is a nice setup. I've run several small businesses in my life, never had an office anywhere near this. And you are a public servant. I'm not ripping on Dave, but you're a public servant. Okay? One of the coolest things about David Schweikert is if you call him congressman, he goes, don't call me congressman. I know them all and I don't want to be a part of it. And he truly has that act. Anyway, there is daycare on the both House and Senate side that is better than any daycare you would ever be able to afford here in Arizona or anywhere outside of Washington, D.C. The daycare is staggering. I mean, it is taxpayer funded and it is obnoxious. So what you're wasting time. You're wasting our time. You're wasting my time with this legislation. You have daycare, move on. You have more than any of us have. And if I'm on paternity leave, or let's say my name is Michelle and I'm on maternity leave, I'm not calling in and saying, hey, listen, I just want to call around and make sure that everybody's getting the new cover sheets on their TPS reports. That's super important to me. I know I'm gone. I'm out of the office right now. I know someone there is taking my place, but you know what? I need to make sure you guys are in. I'm not doing that. So if you want to be on maternity leave, be on maternity leave. You want to be on paternity leave, be on paternity leave. Sorry. Look, you have a different job. You have a job that's different than anyone else's. Sorry. You signed up for it. Do you remember when Melania Trump, do you remember when Donald Trump won the first time in 2016? Do you remember her face that night? Just mortified. As weird of a relationship and a marriage that they have, it was about to get infinitely weirder. It was about to change, and she didn't want it. She thought her husband was shilling a book, which he was, and he became the president of the United States. She understood that his new job isn't flying all over Manhattan or flying all over the world and making Trump national golf courses everywhere. It was now a special job that required 24-hour-a-day attention. Sign up for Congress. That's what it is. It's 24-hour-a-day protection. 24-hour-a-day protection. Yeah, that too. But 24-hour-a-day gig is what it is. When I got into radio, I was told by somebody that I think is one of the most evil human beings on the planet, but he was right when he said this. He said, and by the way, he would take that as a compliment. And I have called him evil. He said, media is, radio, especially talk radio, is a 24/7 job. when he called me on a Sunday night and said 19 firefighters just lost their lives in Yarnell, you pack a bag, we're getting in the RV, we're going up. That's what you have to do. Same news, like, sorry, so-and-so reporter, war just broke out in the Middle East, you're getting on a plane. It's the way it is. No, I should be able to report from my home if I have a baby. No. Nope. Plenty of jobs where you can. Plenty. And I mean plenty. Move to California, dude. You get like 6 months of maternity leave. It's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. Because again, we can put this in so many different subjects, including abortion, because guess what you did? You actually went and summoned the stork. You knew what it takes to summon the stork. You got pregnant. You're in a job where maternity leave really ain't a thing. We have people for that to take care of that. Sorry. I have no sympathy for you. I'm sorry. When you enact an unprotected sex that is summoning the stork, you need to think of the consequences and repercussions of that. If you don't, it's on you. It's not on me. It's not on the taxpayer. It's already on the taxpayer because we have daycare. Congressman Schweikert gives me a different view of this than I think a lot of people, because I think this is a well-intended piece of legislation that only caused a kerfuffle because it is it's a hot button issue. So we talk about just women's rights and all that, maternity, women, blah, 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 blah. He said something very pertinent to me. He goes, I wish I could when I take my daughter or my new son, because he was 60, years old when he adopted a kid. Because the maternal mother of his first adopted child said years later, I got another one. Do you want it? They're like, hell yeah, we do. Amazing people. God, I love them. If you know anyone who votes against David Schweikert, just tell them that. And just look, we need good humans to represent us. And he's one of the best. But he said, I'm not able to take my son or daughter on the floor with me for speeches or votes. Now, that's BS. That is complete 100% BS. You have an entire staff that can sit there with your kid, and you can hold the kid, and the kid starts crying, whatever, hand on to your staff. You have staff. It's fine. It's good. You can. You should be able to have your children on the floor for a vote, period, or whatever speechifying you're doing. I think, if I remember correctly, Mad Maxine Waters was one of his biggest allies in that. And I do remember a story about Marco Rubio and Senator Duckworth, where she was, I don't think she was pregnant, but she was still in the wheelchair. Something happened. And Marco was like, we're suspending that rule. I don't care. You're coming to vote. And that's why she stood up for him when he was nominated for Secretary of State. But anyway, this whole Paulina Luna thing is just, it's dumb. It's a distraction. It is a complete 100% distraction. She's still fantastic, easy to look at, a complete firebrand for the Republican Party. I'm not knocking her as a human. I'm just saying, dear, this isn't the tree to bark. This is not the hill you want to die on. It isn't. And it has to be a distraction. It really, really does. Yesterday was the big day. Yesterday was a special elections in Florida and Wisconsin. Wisconsin was voting for the Supreme Court justice, which went horrifyingly the wrong way. This woman is a Soros-backed socialist. And when I say Soros-backed, I have the video of her being asked about her millions in Soros donations, and she just kept changing the subject to Elon Musk. So is what we were told last night. And she won. What we were told last night is that billionaires can't buy the seat in the Supreme Court. Yeah, they did. As a matter of fact, the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, donated millions to your campaign. Billionaires bought your seat for you, period. Don't give me your high horse crap. But Wisconsin's going to go. Wisconsin's going to get. I do not believe what Elon Musk said was accurate. That what happens is this election for the Supreme Court seat was going to, basically send waves around the world and shape our world. No, it won't. We do have a Supreme Court. We have a Supreme Court that trumps any state Supreme Court. Anywho, in Wisconsin, get what Wisconsin gets, dude. You blue states keep voting for this nonsense, keep voting for socialism, keep voting for all this DEI stuff. Go, bye, dude. You get what you get. Arizona turns that way, then we're gonna see what we can do. Right? Okay. Again, though, another reason the Democrats aren't going to win. By the way, 2 Florida seats went Republican, and that's fantastic. But here we go. Listen to this.
Director of the Milwaukee Election Commission, that multiple sites were either running low or ran out of ballots. At least those are the reports that they were getting earlier this evening. Now, according to the executive director, they are sending more resources to these places, trying to make sure that they have what they need. We obviously still have some time to go until polls close. We initially got that notice around 30 minutes ago, so she noted there was still an hour left, and they were trying to make sure these resources got to these places. But 7 sites in particular, she noted, had no ballots, or at least reports of having no ballots.
Am I saying that the Wisconsin Supreme Court election was stolen? Yes. No. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying that, come on. If you're going to pull shenanigans like this, and it is shenanigans, there is, someone please explain to me. Someone please explain to me how a state's election program, division, department, secretary of state, whatever it is, does not have on hand, at minimum, the exact number of registered voters coinciding with the number of ballots that you have available. How does that happen? How? Are you saving money? You're like, oh, we can cut this so we do, we can save the state $200 whole if we don't print the extra 2,000 ballots. That's where shenanigans come into play. That's where, and maybe this is the Democrat Party goading us into this again, goading us into the stolen election crap by doing stuff like this. If I am a poll worker, that's probably one of my first questions in training. So my polling spot is going to have at least the amount of ballots as registered voters that we have in that spot, right? I mean, we're going to be okay with that, right? We're going to have as many pens, too. We're going to have it all. Yes. Okay. No, maybe not. Okay, you're cheating. Period. Holy crap. Okay, well, why the hell wouldn't you have just at least, at minimum, the same amount of ballots that you do registered voters? So stupid. This is what it causes. And it causes people to talk about the thing I'm talking about. Oh, Mike, you're an election denier. You are a conspiracy theorist. Okay, I'm a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Just a little bit. But yeah. So Wisconsin, you're screwed. I'm sorry. Milwaukee, you guys are done for. Your Supreme Court. Everything is going to be sent directly to the Supreme Court because they know they have socialist wackos on there. It is going to be absolutely a nightmare for you. So congratulations on voting that way. Good on everybody from Turning Point and all of the conservative groups getting out there knocking on doors until the very end. Good job on that. Great job. Great job down in Florida as well. But you were a little more successful in that. I am not a fan of I'm going to say journalist. She's a podcaster. Her name's Laura Loomer. And there was at one point where I even told Rob something that I don't tell everybody else, but I told it to Rob about Laura Loomer and about some inappropriateness. Anyway, Laura Loomer has become an unhinged lunatic. She's basically the female version of what's this guy's, the O'Keefe, right? Like, okay, you're uncovering stuff. You really are, and you are doing a good job, but how you do it is completely unrelatable. How you do it is it's hard for us to support you. You're not a sympathetic person. We don't say, okay, oh yeah, okay, so Laura's talking, let's see what she got. James is talking, let's see what he got. Oh, he's got some undercover stuff, let's check it out. No, because he's a swarmy, for the greater good of the country. Laura, James, listen to me. Please pick someone else to present your findings, because your findings are fantastic. Please pick someone else, because no one's listening to you. No one listens to James O'Keefe anymore. No one listens to Laura Loomer. If anyone listened to James O'Keefe, and I mean, they have their podcast following, and I'm talking about anyone of influence, anyone that can make things happen. If anyone heard your stuff, they'd dismiss it immediately, because the left beat you on that one. They did. Laura likes to send her minions out with their cell phones and to jump into people's faces and tell me about this. Do you support this? Will you condemn this? I hate that crap. I really do. But I do like watching people get punked that do that. I absolutely love it when it has become a culture because of those two jabronis that you can just turn on your iPhone and just slam it in someone's face and try to get famous. Check this one out.
Hi, I was a worker at HHS. I was fired.
I was a worker at HHS. Okay. So you failed. You were with a failing organization. So go ahead.
HHS. I was fired illegally.
Illegally now. Now we're going to go illegally. He might, by the way, I'll let you. I'm sorry. Let me.
February 14th. There are many people who are not getting social service programs, especially people with disabilities. Are you going to do anything to stop what's happening?
Why?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it.
Dude, that's
wow.
So sad.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Why did I deserve it?
Because you seem like a clown.
Okay, sir, you shouldn't have said that on.
Okay, sir, you shouldn't have said that on film. I'm going to go ahead and put that on social media. You're never going to get elected again. God, this is so fun. Their over-heightened sense of importance is staggering. It's funny. It's entertaining. Okay, so this clown thought that he was fired illegally. He's not fired illegally. But hold on a second. Let me walk that back. He might have a case in saying that he's fired illegally because because of rules and regulations, it is next to impossible to fire an employee of the government. But these weren't firings, they were layoffs. You're not fired. You're being laid off. We don't need your services anymore. Bye. I don't know if the president could do that via executive order, make DC a right to work state. It's not even a state. That's probably why. Yeah. Oh, and his whole, I'm going to rename this District of Columbia to District of America. It's just trolling, guys. You understand that. That's what he does. He just does it for funsies. Somebody probably said it to him at a party. He's like, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Yeah, I want to do that. That sounds like fun, right? But the fine to say that he was fired illegally, and now people are not going to get health care service, especially handicapped. What do you say? What say you, sir? You've lost it all. And the fact that he said that, yeah, you probably got fired. You probably did something wrong. You're an idiot. You look like a clown. Yeah. Probably right, because he looks like a clown looks like an idiot doing what he's doing right now. The senator was not incorrect. That's the way it's done. And I'm actually impressed with it. I've seen several things like that, which are fantastic. Let's see how, if we could, and this is pre-recorded, and I appreciate you guys playing along. I am actually going to play with firearms today, so that's just the way that goes. We have a meeting with a guy who's got like surplus of firearms. Don't judge me. Okay, here we go. How about this? The guy from CNN, this is trying to act like this, like tough guy. I have numbers. This is what I do. I got numbers. I got stats. I got this poll. I got that poll. Hey. I said poll. Yeah, the guy drives me crazy. But what doesn't drive me crazy are the actual stats. Let's go.
Toledo. Voters' views of the Democrats in Congress among all voters disapprove. 68%. And look at the approved number. Just 21%, even lower than the Democratic Party at large.
He is literally playing a character right now. That guy seriously probably gets off stage and goes, where is the, I saw they had tea and donuts earlier. Did you see that? Yeah. This guy's playing. He's able to look at this number. Yeah, this guy's a joke, but look at those numbers. You have Democrats in Congress, low approvals on record, and it's Quinnipiac. It's not Rasmussen. It's Quinnipiac.
This is the lowest on record for Democrats, according to Quinnipiac University polling.
Say it right.
You think these numbers are bad? Let's go to this side of the screen. We'll look how Democratic voters
feel.
Get
Dems.
This. The plurality of Democratic voters disapprove.
The plurality,
Democrats in Congress at 49%, and just 40% approve. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh my goodness!
Here comes Jumper.
Oh,
purse your lips there, buddy.
And this is the number right here, really driving all of this. If Democrats have turned, if Democratic voters have turned on Democrats in Congress and the Democratic Party, that's what puts the numbers at historic lows. What is it they want to be seeing, these voters?
What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on.
I'll tell you
what's coming out of.
Hey, what's going on? I'll tell you that, tough nuts. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now what's going on. Okay. This guy is an absolute clown. Why no one watches CNN.
Some of those Senate Democrats like Chuck Schumer, because take a look at the direction of the party. Democratic voters on Democrats in Congress doing too little to oppose Donald Trump. Look at this.
What?
77%.
Delusional.
Should stay principled, even if it means nothing gets done in Washington, D.C. 65%.
Sure.
And this 65% is such a difference from where we were in 2017 at this point, when just 33% of Democrats say they should stay principled, compared to 59% who said they want to compromise. Democrats do not want compromise at this point. They want a fighter. They want to go into the ring like Muhammad Ali did against Sonny Liston. They want to take down the Republicans. They do not want this compromise anymore. They want to be more like Republicans, get up to that stage and fight. And right now they feel like their leaders in Congress are simply put not doing so. And that is why their approval rating for congressional Democrats is at an all-time low, even among Democrats with more disapproving than approving.
Yeah, it seems that these Senate Democrats, some of them are banking on the idea that there is still a political middle, as it were. We will see. We will see.
We will see if there's a
Wait, hold on, John. What did you say?
Yeah, it seems that these Senate Democrats, some of them are banking on the idea that there is still a political middle, as it were.
Shut up.
We will see if there's a.
Did you that propaganda nonsense that he just thrown out there? I'm really sorry. I'm going to interrupt that because the propaganda and BS. Senate Democrats thought there was a middle ground. Apparently, there's not. Dude, let the man cook. Okay, whatever. You're an idiot. Let's keep going.
Political middle, but at this point, count me skeptical that is at least what the Democratic base wants at this point. It's going to be very interesting, John, to see moving forward whether or not there are any repercussions come 2026, because I bet there may be some coming.
Harry, thank you.
There was last night, by the way.
I feel like the most shocking part of that was how you dipped down and you were able to get back up without hearing any creaking or cracking. Nice to be.
Wow. Okay. So nice to be you, a young, healthy white man. I love this. And mostly I just love being right. I do. For years I said, everybody just relax, take a deep breath. The Democrats are in charge. They will overplay their hand. They're always going to overplay their hand. They do not know how to deal with this. They do not know how to deal with the power that Gen X has in our voting base, the power that Gen X has in our reach, the power that Gen X has in not giving a rat's ass about any of your feelings, and you're going to hurt someone's feelings, and somebody has to be included because they were exit. No, we don't care. We're $36 trillion in debt. Again, 36 trillion hours ago, the earth was not formed yet. We're done with this. We're done. Move on. So what do the Democrats do? They get scared. They get panicky. They do 24-hour filibusters. This is one of the most embarrassing, and I've seen so many embarrassing things in Congress. I know you guys have too. This move makes Jasmine Crockett look like she has no idea how to get headlines. One of the most irrelevant senators in the United States is Cory Booker. Cory Booker tried to run for president, realized he's not Barack Obama, realized he's not Hakeem Jeffries, and his ego just kept him on this I would say kept him going down this spiral that he is irrelevant now. So he decided to filibuster a piece of legislation which had absolutely nothing to do with anything. It had everything to do with two things, jack and squat. So the man spoke for 24 hours. The most impressive thing about that is he didn't go pee for 24 hours. I couldn't pull that off. I'd be doing the pee-pee dance. Let me give you a piece of it. It is absolutely embarrassing what he did. There you go.
To the conscience of this nation to say I will not.
He's starting to cry. You guys, he's literally starting to cry. Poor Cory Booker is starting to cry. He's going to make some this nation.
Stand for another American to lose their health care for a billionaire. I will not stand for another veteran who's dedicated to stopping the suicide of other veterans to lose their job. I won't stand for the air quality in my community to be made worse because they're letting polluters pollute more. I won't stand for the collective assaults on the Constitution.
The guy did this for 24 hours. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive. The man did it for, I'm not impressed at the fact that anybody can ramble. I mean, just for me rambling for an hour and recording a show like I'm doing now and having no feedback, nothing to banter off of. That's difficult to do. You do that times 24. Well, you get Cory Booker.
Constitution by a man who even the highest judge in our land, a Republican-appointed judge, said stop threatening and bullying other branches of government. When is it going to be enough?
Oh, did you get bullied?
My efforts today are inadequate to stop what they're trying to do. But we, the people, are powerful. We are strong. We have changed history. We have bent the arc of...
Yes, he literally is. He literally is crying right now. He's crying. He's to the point where he's crying.
The moral universe, and now is that moral moment again. It's the moral moment again. God bless America. We need you now. God bless America. If you love her, if you love your neighbor, if you love this country, show your love. Stop them from doing what they're trying to doing for almost 20.
What, waste? Get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse? Yeah, you should stop them from what they're trying to do. Yeah.
20 hours. We have laid out what they're trying to do. 20 hours. I want to stand more, and I will, but I'm begging people, don't let this be another normal day in America. Please, God, in the
Lord.
Take Medicaid away from 10, 20, 30, or 40 million Americans who...
Actually, I want to take Medicare away from a lot of people and Medicaid away from a lot of people, and those are the fraudsters that they're getting taken away from. So again, it's this I don't want to say it, this a-hole of a politician, this self-grandizing piece of garbage that is doing this for no good reason at all. None but his own benefit. This didn't change anything. This didn't change legislation. This changed nothing. This didn't stop anything. This is Cory Booker wants to filibuster to get headlines and be Cory Booker and be relevant again. That's it. This is an embarrassment. And then his crap about, don't let billionaires cut Medicare. I'm cutting Medicare and Medicaid will get cut. Social Security will get cut. No more fraud payments. Period. There you go. Fixed it. Fixed the problem. Cory Booker.
Desperately need it. Don't let them do it.
Yeah, Senator, shut up is what he is. Senator, just zip it. Just knock it off. You're done. You're just absolutely done. So the wild thing to me is that some people bought into this crap. And by some people, I mean just the same people that are trying to maintain relevance. The same people who are trying to be, I don't know. Just they're trying to be, cling to their cable news name. And I'll just stop there and I'll say the guy who I'm talking about clinging to his cable news name is this Frank Lutz idiot. The guy that sold out a couple of years ago. I mean, completely sold out when he saw that, the Democrats might have it going on with this Joe Biden thing. They might get another 4 years. And he sold out. He's a punk. The guy's not a pollster. He's a spinster. Spinster? Is that the right word? I think spinster is some old lady that doesn't get married. Is that a spinster? Yeah. He's a spinner. Nope, not going to say that either, especially if Chris is here, for the love of God. Okay, Frank Lutz being an absolute moron. Here we go.
Energized in running in a circle and fighting with each other, or they energized in a direction? They're going crazy right now. And they're going crazy because they don't see leadership in their own party. And I want to emphasize what Cory Booker did over the
please listen to this, because he says he wants to emphasize. I want you to please listen to this.
What Cory Booker did over the last 24 hours may have changed the course of political history.
Shut up.
I watched a lot of it. I listened to words. I listened to phrases.
Well, good. When you watch it, I hope you're listening to words, you sellout moron. Yeah.
How he presents himself. Did he criticize Donald Trump? Of course he did. But he struck the kind of tone that grassroots Democrats are looking for. He gave them a reason to fight.
If that were that might have been the case had anyone in the nation watched this. His Senate was on C-SPAN. That's it. He did not give this sellout piece of nonsense.
He gave them a reason to stand up and say, this is my country too.
Nope.
Of course, every Republican watching will say, this is nonsense.
It is not.
But he's not speaking just to Republicans. He's speaking to Americans.
He spoke to no.
And what I saw over the last 25 hours absolutely blew me away. And just as you sometimes make projections or predictions, I'm going to do one right here. That speech puts Cory Booker as one of the leaders for the Democratic Party, 2028, and I'll go even further. If you ask Democratic senators right now, would they rather have lead them over the next 3 years? They would choose Cory Booker over Chuck Schumer.
But are they? That's they would choose. I remember one thing Bill Maher said before the election. Bill Maher said that he would rather vote for Joe Biden's head in a jar of blue liquid than Donald Trump. People would vote for anyone with their head in a jar of blue liquid than Chuck Schumer. So that's not a. So anyway, Frank Lutz is a sellout. Just him and his nice. He sees a nice little apartment he lives in there. He's got that nice, trendy looking thing. He's just a complete sellout. He's a complete sellout. Oh my God. To think that 5-6 years ago, Frank Lutz would have said what he just said is just mind blowing to you, and shows you that anything on cable news, especially what is this, News Nation, Newsmax, Fox News, CNN, MSM, any of them, it's all theater. Every ounce of it is theater. It's embarrassing. So we need to bring in a Scott Jennings to talk about something like this, because God loves Scott Jennings, and all things Scott Jennings we trust. But understand, Scott Jennings is a character. Scott Jennings is a very intelligent character that knows how to squash Democrats. That's his deal. And CNN has paid him handsomely for his character he plays. He's not playing himself. You can tell by his mannerisms when he speaks. His mannerisms are very W. The head bounce, that kind of thing. It's very W. And he worked with W, so that's why he might have given W all the things. But let me give you this, because this is pretty impressive to me. But I'm going to stop it at one point, because Alyssa Farrar or whatever, who was a Republican darling, hot as they get, conservative, worked with Trump, solid, sold out to the other side. I will show you. I will stop it right where she gets the realization. We see it on camera. Oh, crap, I should have stood my ground. I could be getting paid like Scott.
It is a feat of longevity. I'm not sure what the point of it is. You know, he didn't stop any legislation. He didn't hold up any nominations. He said it was a moral moment. So I guess, as a Republican, I infer that he thinks half the country is immoral. And that kind of messaging to me is exactly what's been plaguing the Democrats certainly in the last election, in the last several months, is this idea that this hatefulness towards your fellow American just because they chose a different party or voted a different way. I mean, our own Harry Enton reported this morning that congressional Democrats have a 21% approval rating. So in some respects, there's nowhere to go but up. And Cory Booker, I think, is trying to fill a vacuum. There's no real leadership nationally of the Democratic Party. There. Obviously, they don't have any.
Right there. She is looking at him.
Confidence in Schumer.
And she understands, I could have been that. If I had just stayed to my conservative principles, if I had just shown some spine and not sold out to The View and CNN, and turned on Trump because I thought that's the way society would go, and I thought never would he be elected to a second term, I would be respected and paid handsomely, like my man here.
Out there who are trying to take control of the party. So maybe this was an attempt by him to
love
try
that
to,
camera view. That was perfect.
Wrest control of the, at least the, the spiritual leadership of the national party. I don't know if it'll work.
This is a rebuke.
That goes into the whole courtroom murmur on CNN every time after Scott talks. Like, he's right. That did absolutely nothing. It was a 24-hour Cory Booker commercial brought to you by propaganda lies and BS and gaslighting and nonsense. Yeah, Scott Jennings called it out, and he should have. He absolutely should have. I believe I have. So anyway, Cory Booker. This will do nothing. This is, by the way, if this were to be done properly, it would have been done in mid-2026, maybe even like today in 2026, a year from now. No one will remember this a month from now. No one is going to give Cory Booker any respect a month from now. And if that is their leader, let's go. I love it. If they want to crown this idiot as the head of the Democrat Party, as the leader of the Democrat Party, wonderful. Again, I keep saying, no one's going to vote Democrat for 20 years. If they keep down this path, they allow Cory Booker and idiots like Cory Booker to do this. Cory Booker lied about his residence to become a senator. Cory Booker's a fraud. I don't even think he polled at 1% when he ran for president. No one. Go ahead, dude. I love it. Put Kamala up there. Put Walz up there. Put Secretary Mayor Pete up there. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Cory Booker. Go nuts. Love it. Love it. Remember, this is the same party that quite literally wheeled a senile woman that didn't know where she was or who she was, and Dianne Feinstein, days before her death, so she could have somebody grab her hand and hit the button for a yes vote for the Democrats. Same people. Weekend at Bernie's, 9 ways of Sunday. Yeah. All right. I thought I had it. Let me get to the image files, y'all. Image files. Let me get to, there it is. See, look at that. If I just working hard. Watch this. Hey guys, you see, legal border crossings of March dropped even further, down to 7,000 a month. That's a lot, by the way. Still, it's okay. The 8,300 in February, down 94% from March of 2024. Look at this. Y'all understand that now that we know what we know from the Doge team, that 5 million illegal migrants got Social Security numbers. 5 million of them. And there it is. And remember, keep remembering. Remember, you were told that the border is secure. You were told there's no crisis at the border. You were told that it was only Congress that could fix this, that President Biden had done everything that he could. In walks the mean orange man, and immediately you see a 50% decrease in the first month, and yet another probably 60-something% increase the following, and dropping it down again the next month. Only Congress. Everything Cory Booker said to you when that thing is a lie. It's a complete BS because it had nonsense like that. Our border is finally being secured, and we are doing it through strength. The reason why, and you can tell your peeps this, the reason why the previous administration was run all over was because of weakness. The reason why DEI elimination and woke elimination was so important to the incoming and now the current administration was because both of those programs, those ideologies, lead to weakness. They're gone, and now we are in a position of strength. as I told you yesterday, the countries that are lining up to get rid of tariffs, and we'll talk about tariffs here in a few minutes, but they to just play ball. Claudia Sheinbaum, president of Mexico, sat down with Secretary Hotness Noem, and this is how it sounded and looked. And I apologize for playing Fox News stuff. It just is what it is. Here we go.
President, you talked to her, is doing enough to defeat the cartels down there?
You know, we talked extensively about that. I gave her some options of more she could do. She's participated.
I want to stop right there. I'm going to come back to it. You're welcome. I'll come back to it. I gave her some options on what we basically expect her to do. That's not, we had a conversation and it was really productive and the Mexican people know that cartels are bad and we're just going to go ahead and secure our border. Nope. It was, I told the president of Mexico, this is what's what, and it is expected from the president of the United States, period.
A lot on our southern border, but we want her to secure her southern border with Guatemala. We want her to share some more information with us. Right now, we don't scan every single shipment that comes into this country over air freight. We have some information sharing that could happen on criminal background checks. So I gave her a list of things that President Trump would be very happy to see, and she was remarkable. It was supposed to be a half-hour meeting. We met for almost 2 hours. Very productive. She did sign some of those agreements with us, and I asked her specifically to share biometric information with us. And she's willing to discuss that, even though that in her country would be a little bit controversial. But she's putting a good faith effort. But President Trump is clear. He doesn't want people to keep talking. He wants to see action. And she has an opportunity to do some things that I will give a report to the president on and see if we can deal with the tariff situation that may be facing her people.
That's how you do it. That's how you lead from a position of strength. That is how you don't stand down. No. She told us what she was planning. No, we told her what would be acceptable and what will not be acceptable. My kid came home with a report card that wasn't up to my standards. Are you going to let your kid tell you how they're going to fix that to their standards? No. Here's what happens. Strength and basically, I'm just saying, peace through strength. Yeah, I guess there's a peace through strength, leadership through strength, strength through strength. Yeah. I want to get to this. There was this lady. We're gonna play this lady tomorrow. So I want you, because I want to have a conversation. This woman is one of the most insufferable human beings on the planet. And I want to talk to you about her tomorrow. We'll definitely do it because I have something else I want to talk to you guys about before we wrap up today. And she's crazy trained. She basically said, I have the ideal husband. But anyway, let's I want to talk quickly about tariffs because I said I would before we wrapped up the program. So I do want to talk about tariffs. I want to give you something of basically a how do I put this? Okay. Let me. Okay. Let's talk tariffs and the people who have no idea what tariffs are or what they will accomplish or what they have accomplished. Those that are against tariffs right now are ignoring the 140 Japanese businesses that are going to play ball in having have a presence in the United States to avoid their tariffs. Israel doing the same. The nonsensical Canadian and in Mexican tariffs, they don't understand the percentage of GDP that makes that worth nothing. And they do not understand that we have, even our allies, have 20% tariffs on our goods. Our allies, our friends, even those that we give foreign aid to, have tariffs on our goods. What Donald Trump is doing is leveling the playing field. Whether you say, "Oh, that's going to start a tariff war, it's going to start a trade war," it's not. He knows that. And if it does start a trade war, guess what's going to happen? It'll be pulled back. But if there's a trade war, we'll win. Here's why. I'm going to explain to you what what it would take for me to sell these cups. Let's say I started making these cups. And my goal, as many people that manufacture a product, their goal is to get into Walmart. To get into, to have Walmart make a national buy for Sam's Club, Walmart, whatever, Walmart, neighborhood, grocery, whatever it is. You have to fly. I would make the story me here. So I'm selling these cups. I have to finally get an appointment with Walmart in Bentonville, Arkansas. Do you think we're doing this over Zoom? Oh, hell no. Do you think they're coming here? Oh, hell no. I fly to Bentonville, Arkansas, and I have to pitch their team, and it's not in a boardroom. There are several rooms in this giant building where people are pitching Walmart their product. It's like an airport. It's crazy. So Walmart says, Mike, dig this. Like 3 months later, you hear nothing. 3 months later, Mike, we're making this multi-bazillion-dollar buy. Here's what you need to do if you want it to be national. You need to have a presence in Bentonville, Arkansas. So you need to get some office space out here. Manufacturing, whatever you want to do it. You have to have a presence here. They built an airport in Bentonville for this kind of thing. And we are going to tell you how much we're going to pay for your cup. If I wanted everybody to buy, Walmart to buy this at $3 a cup, they're telling me it's $2.10, and I have to say, okay. If we roll back prices, Walmart version, if we roll back prices, that difference, you are going to make that up. We aren't taking a hit because we're Walmart. And you know what I say? Okay, I'll play ball. That's what it takes. And that's a very Reader's Digest version of what it takes to get a product into Walmart. And I'm sure there's products that they seek out, and it's not everything, but I'm using this as an example. The United States is the same thing. Please understand that we the people, consume $20 trillion in goods a year. It's absurd. We are it. Everyone wants to sell and export their goods to the United States. We are the Walmart. Every country wants to. We are you got to pay to play, kind of like you got to have a Sam's Club membership or a Costco membership. That's us. That's the United States of America, because everybody wants in. And so if we establish Walmart style, which is what Donald Trump is doing, these tariffs are a Walmart model. If we establish this is what it costs to play the game. You want the number one consuming country in the globe, you got to pay to play. Period. And if that revenue eliminates my income tax, let's go. Please understand, there's no nation that is going to back out. Reciprocal tariffs are fine. They're fine. If you look at the list of items that Canada put a tariff on to fight back against the evil Donald Trump, it's laughable. It's hilarious. Flamethrowers are on there. Again, fake beards are on there. The dumbest stuff. The tariffs are a good thing, period. The stock market freaked out a little bit, didn't really know where it was going to go until they saw the other nations respond with, okay, sir, yeah, okay, yes, sir, we want to sell to the United States. Yes, auto manufacturers, we're bringing stuff in, foreign auto manufacturers, bringing all this stuff back because we want to play ball. We don't want to pay the tariffs. That's genius. That's 4D chess. Just like President Trump is saying that he is going to, I might consider a third term. He's saying that to troll. He's saying that so he gets what he wants right away, and the Republican Party won't have to deal with that nonsense. So the Republicans are going to jump on board and make sure his agenda is passed so he doesn't announce running for a third term and blow the Republicans up. Same thing with Gulf of America. Gulf of America was there. Gulf of America was renamed so we can drill in the Gulf of America because there's a ban on drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico. The tariffs are fine. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Good grief. All right. Y'all, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for letting me pre-record this. Like I said, I get to go hang with firearms today and support our Second Amendment. And then I will be back tomorrow right here on In Other News. Y'all have a